All right, so the first thing up is Joy to the World, the Paper Pumpkin monthly subscription kit. Is now available to sign up for it from September 11th, which is already passed, to October 10th. October 10th is the last day that you can sign up to get this subscription for this particular paper pumpkin. I think it's $22 plus tax, and it's an amazing kit. Everything you need comes in the kit to create the projects that are in this particular kit. It's awesome. It's an amazing deal. It is like the second to the best kit that we offer. Okay, so then we have the special that's going on this month only, and that is called the Get and Go Starter Kit Promotion. It goes from September 1st to September 30th, so it ends on September 30th, and you get $125 worth of product that you get to choose for $99. Plus, this month only, you will get 2 stamp sets. You will get the Queen Anne's lace stamp set. I probably should have printed out a bigger thing with the stamp set so you could see them, but you can see them in the catalog. They are in there. So it's the Queen Anne's lace stamp set and the So Much Love stamp set. Plus, you get a pack of rhinestone basic jewels, and you also get card kits to make, I think it's 16 cards. 16 cards you get to make. Plus, you should get a coupon to get a future paper pumpkin. So, they did include the paper pumpkins in the kits, but because of supply and demand, they're no longer doing that. They will email you a coupon to redeem a future kit. Okay, so let me see. I think that's it. Oh, shipping is free with this. So you guys, that's awesome too. That saves you money. And it's just an amazing kit, and I would love to have you join my wonderful team. We're growing and we're doing good. And oh, there it says 8 pre-cut paper packs to make 8 cards. So that's 16, right? I think. Okay, I don't have my calculator on me. So you guys, so anyway, this is a great opportunity to sign up and join Stampin' Up, and you can just be a discount shopper. Or you can just go for the kit, and there's no obligations and no penalties if it's not something you want to do and you just want to get the kit. But I promise you that once you start, you're going to fall in love, you're going to be hooked, and you're not going to want to stop. So it's awesome, and again, we would love to have you on our team. If you need any information at all or have any questions, just contact me. You can message me, you can email me at spongeandstamp@hotmail.com, and I will be happy to answer any questions that you have. Okay, you guys, so that is all of that. So the card that we're going to be doing today is this one. This is a slimline card, and it's really popular now. It's like the in thing right now. So I'm going to show you guys how to make this and give you guys the measurements, and also I'm going to show you how to make an envelope that it fits into. So it just slides right in there, and of course you can decorate it any way you want to, just like you would your regular envelopes. So that is pretty cool. And the leaves on here, this is using the baby wipe technique. So I'm going to also show you how to do that as well. And the stamp set and the dies that we're using is the Love of Leaves bundle. This is an amazing set. It's so beautiful, and I was so happy to be able to get it. It has gorgeous sayings on here. Hope changes everything. I absolutely love that, because you know what? I really do believe that hope does change everything, and my hope is in Christ. So he changes everything. So we have I Thought of You Today. And isn't the font on this so pretty? And it says, thank you, hello, I'm so glad you're in my life. Your friendship is something I know I can count on. So this is really an amazing set. You can use this for almost, well, you could probably use it for any season. and any occasion. It's really an awesome set. And then the dies, let me show you those, what all you get in it. These are all the dies that you get. So there are so many different ones. You have this one that cuts out, each leaf has a one that cuts out the leaf, and then you have one that's stuck on there that has the stitching. So if you notice on this card, there is stitching in the leaf, and that's what this one does. It does the stitching for you. And then we have this piece here, which probably Wednesday I will show you how to use that and what it's used for. But it is, you could use it for anything really, but I'm going to show you one of my favorite ways to use it. Okay, let's go ahead and get started here. I am going to move this to, actually, I need this piece out right here because we're going to be using this. And I'm going to put these away. So let's put those aside. So what we've got is I have a full sheet of Whisper White cardstock. And this is going to make the envelope. It will take the whole sheet to make it, but we're going to put that aside because I'll show you how to do that. Then I have another sheet of Whisper White cardstock. I prefer to use Whisper, the thick cardstock for my card bases, but it hasn't come in yet. So we're going to be using just the regular Whisper White. This is 7 inches by 8.5. And then it is scored at 3.5. So let's go ahead and fold this in half. I think I just gave you the right measurements. You guys, I'll check and make sure and post the right measurements if I'm wrong on my blog and on a link when I post all of the information for this card. Okay, so I just used my bone folder to give that a nice crisp fold. And then we have a piece of basic black that is, what is the measurement on this? This is 3 3/8 by 8 3/8, I believe. And that's going to be our layer. Then we have another piece of Whisper White that is 1/4 inch smaller than our card base. So this is 3 1/4 by 8 1/4. And then we just have a piece of scrap, basic black, that is going to be for our sentiment and stamping. So I'm going to put this right here. I am going to go ahead and do this. So the baby wipe technique, hopefully this is going to turn out okay because I was trying to remind myself how to do it because it's an older technique, but it's coming back around again. So I haven't done it in several years or showed you guys how to do it, and I know that we have a lot of new friends who are joining us and probably have not seen this technique. So all you do is you take a baby wipe. I don't know if I should, it'll be okay. You take a baby wipe. I just put it on one of my large blocks, and you take reinkers, and I have 4 different colors here. You could use 3, you could use 2, you could use whatever you want to, but you want to make sure that the colors that you choose, when they mix together, it doesn't turn to a muddy color. So I'm going to go ahead, and then all you do, and I'm hoping my baby wipe is still wet enough because I put it out earlier today. So all you do is you just take a couple of drops and just kind of drop it around wherever you want it to go. Hopefully it is, and it's not going to be blotchy. So that was Melon Mambo, and then I have some pumpkin pie. So I'm going to put some pumpkin pie right there. And then I have some Pear Pizzazz. I thought that would be a really pretty color. So I'm just going to put that. I'm going to bring it down further because of our stem on our leaf. And then I have some yellow, and this is Daffodil Delight. When I first was trying to remind myself how to do it, I used the Cajun Craze, and I don't know if it was because my baby wipe was too dry because I had used an older set, and the Cajun Craze didn't spread out as much as I wanted to. So when I did it, it made a big round blotch, and I didn't like it. So I decided to just not use that one, not use the Cajun Craze. Okay, and then I was going to show you some samples of some that I was playing around with, but I don't see them. I moved them somewhere. Well, darn. I did have them. I promise you I did. I just don't remember where I put them. I'm not going to waste a lot of time looking for them. They'll show up eventually. Okay, so we've got that. That's all you got to do, and I hope and pray that this is going to turn out right. I also want to use my piercing. This is no longer in the catalog. I don't know if they're going to put it back in the catalog. I would assume that they will, but they had retired it but brought it back. But you can find it in the store if just search for it. It's called the piercing mat, and you really need this when you're using photopolymer, and especially with the baby wipe technique. So I am just going to take, this is the leaf that I'm using, and oh shoot, you know what, I used some cleaner on this to try to get the stain off, and I forgot to clean it. Let me see if I can get enough juice out of this one to wipe that down. Maybe. Don't you hate those oops? I sure do. I'm going to spray a little bit of water on here, and let's see if I can just get that to clean off a little bit. All right. I'm sorry about that, but I sure did. I was trying to get some of it, which a lot of it did come off. That's the only thing that I don't really like about photopolymer, but it's not really a big deal because it doesn't ruin your stamp at all. It doesn't hinder the stamping ability or anything like that. It just stains it. So when you use pinks and reds and stuff like that. All right, so I'm just gonna ink down, or not ink down, but stamp down on my baby wipe. And I'm gonna hope that this works. So I want these evenly as best that I can. So I think I'm going to try to stamp in the center, and I am going to just try to eyeball this. I'm going to make that go that way. And then there you go. So you got that. So then I'm going to ink it back up again. And then I want to go the opposite way for the top and the bottom. So right about there. Hopefully I am in the camera. So there we go. And what I love about this too is you see the lighter and the darker in the ink. That's not from it not getting good ink coverage. What that is these stamps are designed to have a watercolor look. So if you really like the watercolor, this is an awesome stamp set for you. Okay, so I'm going to do the same thing up here. So just like that. So isn't that pretty? Oops, look what I did. Oh well. Okay, so I'm going to put that on our layer. I'm going to move this aside so I don't throw anything in there. So that was pretty easy, huh? And look how pretty they are. You can use any colors, like I said. Just make sure that the colors you use, that when they meet together, they don't turn into a yucky, muddy color. Okay, so I'm going to take this scrap. We're not going to glue that down yet. I'm going to take my piece of scrap. I'm going to emboss on here. Use this side. Okay, so I'm going to use my Versamark, and I am using the Sentiment Hope Changes Everything because I absolutely love that. And I'm just going to stamp that in my Versamark down at the bottom, and I'm going to try to get that straight. Try. Keyword, try. Okay, so I think that is, and I'm going to bring in my white heat embossing powder, and we are going to just put some embossing powder on that, just like that. Gonna give it a good flick. Isn't that pretty? I did stamp it a little crooked, but it'll be all right. I'm not too worried about it. Okay, so it used to really bug me when I would stamp something crooked or glue something down crooked. I guess sometimes it still does, but not that much anymore. So we've got that. I'm going to take our heat tool, turn it on. It'll probably get a little loud, but it'll be all right. It doesn't take but just a minute or two, and that's it, if that. And then I'm just going to heat up the embossing powder, and hopefully you guys can see it change. It turns to a glossy white, and it's raised a little bit when it heats up and melts. And you can tell if you've got it heated enough. If there's no gloss, then you know you need to hit it again because it's not melted and it'll wipe off. Okay, I think I got it. All right, so that is it. So I'm going to bring in my trimmer because I kind of want to let this cool off so it doesn't smear, because if it doesn't cool off and you hit it, it will smear it. You know, this is just melted whatever it is. I don't know what it is, but all right. So I'm going to trim that. There we go. That is our sentiment ready to go. I'm also going to give that a little trim on the end here, like so, and then I'm going to flag it, and I'm going to try to do it evenly, but I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to or not. Okay, so like so, and like so. You could have done it a little bit more. All right, that is going to go right across the bottom right here. And don't worry about this because we are going to use some embellishments to hide that. We're going to just step up our card a little bit. So if you ever make a mistake, it's okay, because most of your mistakes can be hidden, and sometimes mistakes make the prettiest cards. Believe it or not, it really does. If I can get my glue to come out, watch it come out in a big blob. That would just be my luck. Come on. All right, so we're going to flip that over. I'm just going to place that right here, just like that. I think that is pretty good. All right, and then I'm going to put that, glue that to our basic black card layer. Come on, there we go. Well, kinda. All right. I tried to put a little extra glue on it so that it would give me some wiggle room, because you know me, I won't get it straight the first time or even, and that's okay. Just like that. Just like, well, I'll be. Miracles never cease to happen. Okay, so there we go. Now, you could even step this up another notch by using dimensionals to pop this layer up. But I'm not going to do that on this card. I'm just going to go ahead and leave it like it is and just glue it flat on there. Just like that. And I'm going to try to get this even all the way around. Keyword is try. All right, which I didn't do such a bad job there either. All right, so I'm gonna add some jewels on there. We're gonna use, what are these called? These are the Elegant Faceted Gems. Now, this one's like off-white. I don't remember. I think this is like petal pink or something. But I think I want maybe black, or maybe pumpkin pie would be pretty too. I'll bring in my blends, and I think I'll do, maybe I'll use, I know I keep saying I think I'll use, that's Calypso. This is dark petal pink. Do I not have my, I bet it's in my other holder. Let me see. Why it is. Okay, so we're going to use some pumpkin pie, I think. Ouch, that hurt. Okay. Yeah, we're going to use some pumpkin pie. I'm going to use my dark pumpkin pie, and I am going to do, just kind of color 3 of them, I think. So I'm going to color one of the larger ones, and then 2 of the smaller ones. All right, it dries pretty quick, but not as quick as if you were coloring on your cardstock. So I'm just gonna let that sit while I get my take your pick tool, and I am gonna just put that right there. See, so you can barely even see that I made a boo-boo there. And then I'm gonna come over here. I think I'm gonna come here, whoops, here, and then right here, I think, like right there. Okay, so there we go. So there is our card. So isn't that cute? And then you have your inside. You can stamp a sentiment in the inside, or you could just write your little note. But that is how you make a slimline card. So isn't that really pretty? Okay, I am now going to do the envelope. I'm in a goofy mood today. All right, so this is the envelope, and I'm going to show you how to do that real fast too. All you need is a full sheet of cardstock. I am going to move our piercing mat because we don't need it. I'm going to bring in my trimmer. No, I don't need the trimmer because we're using the full sheet. We're not cutting anything off of it. I need my Simply Score tool. And, oh, you know what I forgot to do? I forgot to do the stitching on the leaves for that card and show you guys how it works. So let me, and here are my samples. I told you they would show up. So this one right here is really my favorite one. I love that one. So what I'll do, all you do is you take the stitched one and you just lay it on there, and you can see how it fits on there, and you can just put it evenly all the way around where you can see the leaf all the way around evenly. I hope that makes sense. Okay, I think I'm pretty happy with that. And then you bring in and you have your I have my magnetic plate. Oh, and I do not have the new Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine yet. I am hoping to get that hopefully pretty soon. Not sure. But anyway, we are going to use what we have, which is the Big Shot. So I'm not going to go into all the details on how to do it, except for if you have a Big Shot, you have your magnetic plate, you just sandwich it like normal. Okay, so let me show you what that does. I hate that I forgot to do it, but there you go. So isn't that really cool? And stitching is so popular. It's really in right now. So that's how you do that. And I was supposed to do that on those leaves and totally forgot. So it's okay. One card will have the stitching and another card won't. It's not a big deal. All right, so let's bring back in our Simply Score. And I need to find my measurements. All right, so we have an 8.5 by 11 sheet of cardstock, and you can do this in any color cardstock. You can also use your designer series paper if you would like. You would have to use the 12 by 12s and cut it down to 8.5 by 11. And if you're mailing it in the mail, I would use something that's not so busy so that you can, where you can either see your writing for your address or you can just put a label on it. Okay, but for today, I am going to use Whisper White, and we are going to score this at 1.5 and 10.5. And then we're going to flip it to the 8.5 inch side, and we're going to score it at 2.5 and 6.5. Hopefully I have my measurements right, because that does kind of throw me in a panic when my measurements are wrong, because I'm like, oh. All right. Then what we're going to do is we're going to take our paper snips, and on the 1/2 inch score line right here, we're going to cut this little rectangle out and this little rectangle out. So I'm just going to take my paper snips and trim right up to that score line. And then I am going to cut this off on the score line, just like that, and then on this side too. So this envelope is really easy to make. It is not hard at all. You could probably buy envelopes in some of your big box stores, but they're not going to coordinate with your cards that well. So you might get lucky and find a color that's close, but this is so simple. Okay, so, and you can use legal size envelopes. They are going to be, yeah, it'll fit okay in there. It'll be just a little big, but they'll fit. You could use that too. All right. Let's see here. I am going to go ahead. So we're going to do the same thing over here. We're going to cut those rectangles off. I think I'm doing this right. Okay, so just like that. And I've got shadows today really bad. I'm having a hard time kind of seeing. Cut that off. I am going to trim this just a little bit because I don't want any of the score seam to show. All right, so then we're going to come over here and I'm going to cut it on the score line, just like that. And the same thing over here. All right, so just like that. So now you have this, and this is what it should look like. I'm going to turn that off. Okay, so what you want to do is you want to cut this into an angle. So you can eyeball it, or you can measure it and draw a little pencil line. So if you want your thing to be down to 1/4 of an inch, you can just measure it and then take your pencil, which I don't have over here. So just take your pencil and make your little mark and do the same thing on this side. And then you just take your ruler and meet up with this corner to your pencil mark, and then you'll have a perfectly even line. But I don't fool with that. I just say, okay, this is about how much I want to trim off, and I am just going to eyeball this and cut it to the corner. And then I'm going to do the same thing to this side. And if I want to, I can also do this. I can measure this just like that and say, okay, so I want this to be right about here. So that works too. And you know what? If it's not perfectly even and symmetrical, it's okay, because it's going to be hidden anyway. And most of the time when someone opens an envelope, it gets tore. Or if they use their envelope opener, it only opens the top, so they're not even going to see it. All right, so this, I'm just going to use my bone folder to give it a nice crisp fold, just like so. And then again up here. All right, so now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to take some strong adhesive. So I'm using my tear and tape, and I am going to put it along the top part of the bottom flap, but the top part of it. Okay, just like that. And then I am going to put it on the wider end, wider flap. I'm going to put it in the same place up at the top part of it, just like that. Tear that off. Ooh, I just tore my card. Ooh, okay, or my envelope. All right, so good thing that's on the inside so it won't be seen. All right, and then again on the, oh no, wait, we are going to round those corners. So if you have your corner rounder, the triple thing-majiggy that has all the different, has 3 different things, I think it punches a hole and it punches a little decorative thing and then it quarter rounds, which I keep forgetting to order, so I am using this cheap little thing here that sometimes works and sometimes doesn't, but that's all I have right now for a corner rounder. So it worked okay right now, so I'm happy with that. All right, so you're gonna fold this skinnier side down. You're gonna, let me go ahead and I'm getting ahead of myself. That's what happened with my card. That's why I forgot the stitching for the leaves. Totally forgot it. All right, so I am going to pull this off. I'm going to fold this over, and this is going to be folded over. And you just want to make sure that it lines up at the bottom. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to take my bone folder to press it in there really good. And then I'm going to take off the bottom, maybe. Okay, there we go. And then this is just going to get folded and pressed down, just like so. And let's see, we need to put our tape up on the, I'm going to cut that because I'll just make it look a little cleaner. It doesn't have to be, just I'm going to. We're going to put that right at the top, just like so. All right. And now would be the time if you wanted to decorate it. So if you have your address and your return address, so we're going to put something down here. So we can stamp our leaf again. So I am just going to do that. Stamp that up a little bit. And I really need my piercing mat, but I'm just going to go for it. And I don't think I'm going to do it all the way up. I'm not going to get the stem on there. Maybe just a little bit. Just like so. So, see, I needed my piercing mat. That's what happens when you don't use your piercing mat. I thought I could cheat, and I could not get away with it. And then you just put your card inside. Just like so. Fits in there perfectly. Pull off your strip, seal it down, and there you go. You have a beautiful card, slimline card that is really in right now. I think that is so super pretty and so super cute. It kind of looks like a, well, not kind of, it does look like a coin holder, you know, where they have the little circle thing here and the circle thing here, and then you wrap your string around it. That's what that looks like. Okay, so this is it. So we have one card with embellishments and no stitching, and one with stitching. So aren't those cute? I hope that you really enjoyed today's live and our little messed up envelope. Today's live, and please share the video so that we can share the love of stamping with others, and it really does help me out. It helps other people see, and makes me happy. And comment, and if you have any questions, please go ahead and ask them, and as soon as I see them, I will be happy to answer them, and I will answer them. And you guys have a blessed day. Thank you so much for taking out your afternoon to spend with me, and join me again on Wednesday at 12:30. That is going to be our new lunchtime stamping time day. It's the same time, just a different day. And you guys, thank you again. Doodly-doo.